a look at this map.
Okay, new map.
And my God,
Be honest, chat, I'm not really doing anything like this. I'm just going to talk about the new map. Give me this map.
it does look gorgeous. You've done a fantastic job here in your
Thank
teams.
you.
No,
Me and our entire team.
All right, well, let's see how they fare.
We're here on B site.
Yeah, taking a look at the minimap. I mean, it's going to
That's
be
your choke?
Be push here, it would seem, from the attacker. Slide forward.
Loving the aggression already.
Oh my God, look at this
Over
though.
the top. So some blinds, but I mean, as the defenders here.
Wait, Wingman makes the Wingman makes the jump?
Little Wingman did the little jump across that skill jump you were talking about.
Oh, he did.
Planting the bomb backside.
So Wingman can jump over the gaps.
Yes.
Wait, Wingman's actually better than some players.
Adorable.
That's kind of sick now.
Now just two
Maybe we
players
can
left.
stop complimenting him.
How do you think this
He can
map
consistently
fares
make
so far?
the
Does it seem fair to
jump and
balance
other
your
people
play test
can't,
as far as,
then-
like, attacking and defending side?
Very good question. From what we've seen, it is ever so slightly defender-sided. Although, in general, when we do launch a map, our maps always start out a little
Wait,
defender-sided.
surely like a sage
and
wall
as
across
people learn
that is
how
going to be
attack, it kinda evens out
unbelievable.
over time.
Yeah. So we saw
You just
some
sage wall the
interesting
whole
things
of
there
that
with,
jump
like,
bit,
the way that they're
or the
playing
other side of it.
post plant. Like they're waiting behind where the skill jumps are. That makes it pretty difficult for the defenders to try to get rid of where they're hanging out. They're like the attackers are.
Yeah,
Yes.
Yeah, I was going to say too, like B-side, like we actually give 2 towers on both sides, so players on attacker and defender can actually watch 2 nests. That's a really critical part of the map to make sure that you can actually either execute or defend it correctly.
Nice.
We got 2 versions of them. Bro, look at how small some of these choke points are.
One thing about this map, a lot of long-range fights. We'll see a lot more of them in mid, but B is pretty open. And like Al said, we have the 2 nests, Heaven, and then in B main, there's another nest, and it allows people to kind of fight over smoke. So that was one of the gameplay intentions from our designer, Joey Simas. He wanted to make sure that, you know, when the players see a smoke, they don't get stuck and stare at it.
Right.
You know what I mean? So we've given our players multiple opportunities to execute sight.
Well, hopefully they'll go to the other side so we can get another, you know, look at a different part of
I'm
this
so
map.
excited for A side.
Yeah, B's nice.
Yeah, we might have to have the, if they don't do it, we'll have to.
Kinda
have the
big.
admin
It
set
looks like a long
at least
rotate.
shows
Yeah, I'm
us
a
the
little
map.
biased. I worked on B-side, so I'm like, keep going there. I like it.
Oh, look at that
Oh.
tree. That's gorgeous.
Got a little Radiant tree here.
Yeah, this is a very lore-heavy map, so that's like part of that, like sort of like part of the Radiant secrets of the Science of Hourglass.
Yeah, we really had to investigate what does the Radiant Knight effect look like on different natural
It's not
elements.
too bad though.
See the rocks in
Like
the
4 choke
distance that
points
you
all
mentioned,
together.
and then also
Double
the
mid.
tree. Oh, a little play in mid here. And
What
we're
the
seeing
hell
the
is
effects
this?
as well.
Bro,
So
look
this
at
leads
this
you right
corridor.
into A Heaven.
It's the smallest
Okay,
choke
so
point I've
breakable
ever
door,
seen.
breakable vent to just be able to cut across and get yourself over to that A side from
Exactly.
Where the hell
Yeah,
are
so
we,
mid
man?
control is
Reyes is
incredibly
flying
important on
around.
this map. Gives you a lot of leverage.
And you saw there the jet held their space bar.
Bro,
to
there's
drift
so
towards that road.
many
That
tight
necessary on that
corners.
jump, or can
No.
you just make
How would
that?
you
You
not
can
judge
make it
only
as
every
long as
map?
you press F.
Every round so far.
If you don't, it's GG. Wow, clean.
Very clean. 8 players left standing, and that's going to be Team China getting themselves on the board and showing us a lot more of the map than what we had seen in those previous 2 rounds.
Yeah, and as anticipated, we're seeing those very fast, quick plays, high risk, high reward.
Now, what if you have an oopsies and you have the, let's say you have the spike and you fall off the map?
Oh, so that's a really good question.
Yeah.
So like it's actually not possible to lose a spike. We definitely want matches to finish, so if the spike does go over an edge, it will always immediately spawn where it fell off.
That's excellent. Nice.
Same goes for bodies, so rezzing. If a body falls off the map, you cannot res.
Got it.
Body falls
And
off
then
the map,
guns as well.
cannot
So if
res.
you're trying to play that eco round, make sure you're not shooting someone on the edge and losing that vandal.
Yeah, I'd be yeeting the op off the edge so Tilios can't have it.
And then I wouldn't be able to carry you in the
Well,
games that
okay,
we play,
come on
so.
now. Yeah, well, you play Raze with an op and you don't use your satchels, so.
Another,
Poison.
another B-side hit.
Definitely not getting
Ooh, the
but-
satchel.
Yeah, I think we're starting to see why that, you know, that mobility.
Where are you
is
meant
so
to hide
very
on this
important,
site?
But this is a great shutdown here from the side of Team China.
So
Oh,
fun
last one
fact,
standing.
this B main ramp that you saw, the smoke, it does not completely cover up the ramp, so there's still
Right.
a gap. And that is part of not wanting the smokes to just block everyone off.
So yeah, being able to play around it, being able to peek over top of it or to the side, so just giving you some more angles of approach rather than just keeping a team completely locked in place because of that smoke.
Yeah, that's something we really want to point out too. Like you guys are used to seeing maps like Ascend B-side. Like as soon as a smoke usually hits a choke point, it's completely cut off. But it's intentional on this map for both A and B site, a single smoke cannot completely cover an entry point.
The
Plus,
single
we give you
smokes
those
can't cover
skill
the
jump
entry point, so
opportunities
it's gonna
that
be another
there are
Viper
more
map.
ways to actually enter site.
That's their
But
issue
it
when
is
they do
very
this
high
stuff.
risk,
Is
high
like
reward when it comes to
they don't want to
actually
choke.
doing
They
those,
don't want
trick
to
jump
smoke to
exits.
fill a single
And
choke, but then it
seeing
just
a part
becomes
of
a
the map
Viper.
here that I'm really curious about is mid. Like how long it is, how wide.
Bro,
and
look
open
at some
it
of
is.
these choke
What was some
points.
of the
Look at
thought
some of them.
process into making it
Oh
that way?
god.
Yeah, so that's also really intentional too. So
But this
is
bit's
very
kind of cool though.
low for mid.
The higher lower.
It is intentionally
You
designed.
go all out or you go home.
Yeah, and it is designed for these aim duels.
It's like that.
Yeah, ones that right now Team China getting the better of.
Yeah, lurked out of B main up into this little corner.
Yeah, Joey was telling us it's really hard to sneak by here. So if you're gonna go through mid, you probably want to stack. But controlling mid is super important because it does branch out multiple ways into both sides.
Oh, look at that.
Guns action.
Yeah, the break of the vent right into a kill. Catch people by surprise, just hiding behind that vent, just kind of waiting it out. So many flank angle opportunities there in mid as well. There's
Yeah,
so many
absolutely.
paths to come in and out of it.
Yeah, I think that we're gonna have once this does get into pro player, once players get this on their hands, like
A-main.
how high priority that's gonna be. But yeah, A main hit.
Dude,
as you
look
say.
at this area. This area is crazy. This one's nuts.
Come on, Mixwell.
Storming their way through, but slow
Oh,
down.
so you see him on top of that box in A main, so this is a really good way to look over that smoke.
Oh, watch this.
And here he goes with the TP on the bridge.
Holy.
into the smoke.
Okay.
This is exactly what we wanted to see.
Oh, the timing on the dizzy, looking great.
Fantastic execute.
What the?
Oh, that
Dude,
is
Mixwell's been
That is
pracking,
exactly what we
bro.
want to see from this map.
That is so sick.
Mixwell's been pracking.
That is so hard to pull. It looks like it's challenging to pull off at the very least. Like a little bit difficult.
Kind of sick
It's
though.
I
very
mean, you
challenging.
saw the team play. You
Yeah.
can't do this solo. You have the defenders sitting on site. They're holding all of these random angles, these off angles as well. So
Wait,
you
that's
really want
sick.
to throw them off with the abilities, the utility, and all the bodies.
So obviously we see that there with the Omen, but what other agents can really kind of make a similar maneuver to that? I mean, I assume Ray's blast packing, Jet
Yep.
dashing.
Jet
Yeah.
dashing.
Okay.
I guess you can send Euro TPs, but those are
Oh, why?
typically the agents
Yeah, we're good.
that are able to do that. So, fun fact.
Okay, well
the
that
jump
explains
that
some of
was
the
just
raise
made,
enough, so
you're
you
able to
can't
make
go
from
like
A side to A main.
all the way
so
around.
Any agent can make that jump. It is just a strafe, like an air strafe,
Right.
but not the other way around.
Yeah, super challenging to do, but you can totally risk it and totally flank attackers coming in.
Dude, how are you meant to defuse
So
this?
only defenders can make that jump without the use.
How are you ever meant to defuse
Yes,
this?
correct.
You got
So,
like this
really
area
cool pointing out here too,
out of like
they
this where
planted
you can
right on
defuse.
that
You're gonna get
bridge.
spammed.
Super popular plant site.
Oh,
Something we didn't get to
no.
talk about,
Not
too.
again.
We really intentionally didn't want the death drops to be super frustrating. So the majority of map actually has ankle high borders, so that you can't just like back into like an edge and then fall off by accident.
Okay.
There were a couple of choice spots where we don't have those ankle borders.
Very
That bridge being one of them. Again, high risk.
That bridge,
Really works
first change
fine.
of this map, that
If
bridge
you can
gets
get away with
extended.
it,
Watch it
and Trying
happen.
to defuse it is really risky.
Especially if you have a breach, right? And
Oh,
the
absolutely.
ultimate.
A breach or like a race satchel.
Play test.
Yeah, the satchels too, yeah.
But I would assume.
Dude, map
maybe
looks kinda
something
sick
like
though when they look like
Astral
that.
Star not gonna
I
be
want
able to
more
pull
overviews
somebody
like that,
off the
looks
side of
cool.
the map, right?
That's a good question.
The ankle borders do stop you. If you're
Okay.
standing on top of it, which on B site, you can technically plant the bomb on that ankle border, forcing your opponents to play on that edge, and then you can use abilities to push them off. You don't even have to fight.
Okay. Well, I'm really curious about just the meta development once this gets into the hands of
Yeah.
professionals, because
Professionals,
the
yes.
way that this seems very exec heavy. We've seen some very just dominance in execs here in this tournament, but also from other squads in the past. I'm curious to see how
This
that's
bit's-
going to look.
oh.
Oh, here we go. Respect for the play.
Where is this? Over here.
Pulled it off the
Okay,
opposite
it's
time. He
kind of
sees it
cool.
coming.
Actually, no, he tried doing that again. Pro tip for players trying this map: if you're Omen, the trick is to actually aim above where you want to TP and not try to get it exactly where you want to go. It makes doing that play a lot easier.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
There you go. A word from the wise.
Whoa.
Okay, we're seeing this neon on display now,
Ah.
sliding all over the place. I'm just curious what the balance is going to look like between high
Can you
mobility,
breach all
but
people off the
also,
map? That's a great question.
A collection of agents, a team that is going to be able
That's
to
an
just go for really
unbelievable
nice set
question.
executes, and I think that something like
Probably.
Neon Jet, Neon Yoru with a breach in play. All these things are coming to my mind right now, and it seems like the possibilities are damn near endless.
You know, for ShowMatch, they're having a lot of fun with the agents that they picked here. They're really showing off a lot of those mobility things that they were.
Satchel, yeah, that's probably why they changed the race satchels, so you can't just have a satchel on like that little bridge or whatever.
You can actually stop a lot of these pushes with your Vipers.
That explains the... I mean, honestly, this whole map explains the race changes, right? So you can't go like this or something mental. You can't just put a satchel on here and blast pack people off the map.
Another agent that I found surprisingly, and personally, this is a personal anecdote, really strong on this map.
Where's the orb sprite? I tell you what, when we're on a player POV, I don't even know where we are. There we are. There's one here, but I don't know where that is still. Okay, that's here. Okay, I mean that's really attacker sided. In theory, don't really know
I was also
now.
going to ask about Sage.
Is this a choke point now?
Jumps that you can make using her wall?
Like, can you extend it out and
Yeah,
basically use it as
but
a
I know like her
bridge?
wall like breaks over certain ledges and things like that. But is there a way to like?
Bro, this looks fast.
Honestly, I don't want to spoil it though. Honestly, I actually am really interested to see
Wait,
like what our
whoa, wait, why is this so fast? Is that how fast it is?
Hours, but I am really interested to see like how players are going to exploit
Wait, that's
sort of like this new kind of
strong.
paradigm in our map.
I don't even know what's going on. I'm just so enthralled with the map. Like, I don't know who's winning.
It's been a bit back and
Oh
forth.
god, Neon looked wild
Now,
there.
of course, with the ability to just
Can we get a
drop off the
neon
side
cam?
of the map, we've seen
Where's Prius, man?
players grab a gun, throw it off the ledge.
The
on a
neon
set,
cam
throw it
for
off the
just
side,
one whole
fracture,
round?
Whatever. That's you know, a strategic move to deny weapons over to your opponents. Make sure they're not going to be recoverable as you're rotating to the opposite side.
Prius
of
is
the map.
here.
But
Prius.
One of the other things that we have in Valorant as
Wait, how are you doing that?
strategies,
Prius,
you know,
give me a
maybe
whole
losing the
neon
pistol
round, I beg.
Having just classics. You lose 2 players and then you just sit back and you wait for the spike to detonate. Does it all play out exactly the same if you just go into one of the drops?
That's a good question. I think for ecos, we actually
God.
do see a
Happening.
lot of like mid fights. If you like 5-man hit it, typically
Neon.
you only have one
That's my bad,
defender
chat. It's my bad.
to keep it safe, and you get a lot of map control by doing that. So you're getting right into their spawns, into their areas that they're sitting in, and catching them off guard. We're seeing a lot of snipers in general. So yeah.
Oh,
There's a lot of opportunities to.
we asked
take
chat.
an eco
Think for
and
that,
kind
Prius,
of
I
turn it
guess.
around on your opponents. There's a lot of angles and things like that to utilize.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
also.
Honestly,
team play is, like,
mid looks kinda
really, really
sick.
required for this because of all the long range
Mid
fights.
looks pretty
Yeah,
cool.
and I know it's really exciting. Like this.
Can you
again,
jump
this is the
from
first
one
map
side
that
of mid
has
to the
no
other?
boundaries. It has death drops. Weapons can
Yeah, you
fall
must be able. You can
Sage
jump from
can
top to
grab
left.
bodies that fall off the pit. But, you know,
Mid's
it's really
cool, man.
important to, make sure players know that like the core design of the map is still very traditional. It's 3 lanes. It's got 2 sites. It's got that mid. A lot of the fundamentals that players practice day in and day out still super important.
There's a
to the
zip
map.
line, yeah,
But
for
again,
this
yeah,
jump,
that
right?
extra layer,
Just
really
in case
excited
you're a
to see
super
how
bot.
Players are going to surprise us with some of their clutch plays.
Now we said that the spike, if it falls off the side of the map, that just comes right back up. I'm assuming that since we do have geckos in play, I haven't noticed if it's happened yet. If you were to accidentally send Dizzy off over the side of the map, is he just falling into the abyss?
Yeah,
No,
dude.
he's gonna
Mid is cool,
gone.
man.
Okay.
I like mid.
So, Gecko
I hate-
players
the only
gotta
bit
be
I
a
hate
little
so
more
far is
careful
this
with your
bit.
lineups. Gonna have to
This
study
right here?
quite a bit and make sure that you don't
Hate that.
accidentally
Hate
send
you can
something
plant
out
on
to
this
panic
little
us,
thing
because
here. That's horrendous,
That is
but
just you losing a
Mid's
major
cool.
piece of utility.
And that's what we mean when we mention, like, we want our players to think a little harder about how they're using these abilities. We're adding this extra dimension of gameplay, this extra consideration they have to make with every execute, every play.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Yes!
Neon's gone. Dude, I told you we should...
We got
Prius,
the
I told you
shot!
you should have been Neon.
Slicky in shambles! Wingman driving!
And honestly,
That's true. He's
this
right,
backside
though.
is
That's the
pretty
thing.
strong when
I
you're
used to
playing
say the
mid-lane,
wingman only gets
forcing your
praised for doing
opponents to
stuff
jump
that people
across
can't do, but he
the
makes the
skill
jump
jump
every
here.
time.
It's a very easy way to catch them off guard.
Wow.
Well, next one not getting called
He's not
back.
wrong,
Does
man.
get
He's
a nice headshot
factually
there from Dunking, so
right, dude.
see if they're going to be able to get this. 2v2 for the retake.
Oh, they got the wingman.
Wingman can make the jump, and he's actually better than players. He actually deserves to be cheered for it.
Oh.
Bold swing. Seems like International
Oh,
gonna be
this
getting
plant.
themselves
Like I
seven.
mentioned,
Oh, the
this
plant
B
spots are
main
killing
hold
me.
is extremely powerful.
All right.
Incredible. So we're talking a lot about like things that can happen when you drop off, but there's a lot of ways to avoid it. We saw the Omen TP earlier. What are some other mechanics that players could potentially kind of use by faking
This
going
is
off
so
the map
stupid.
or trying?
For God's sake.
Somebody fell.
He forgot to jump. That happens.
Yeah. We've all been.
Dude, the replay actually has Wingman doing it first as well. That's so sick.
Run it back or Yoru.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah, we kind of sort of touched on that too. Like, you know, Phoenix is actually one of the most viable reses on the map. He can do the run it back. Again, Yoru plays are also super popular in some of our internal playtests. You can totally fake out players with some of those teleport opportunities. And I want to emphasize too is that it's not just about like the falling in a pit to die.
Jump. Sorry to interrupt you, Al. But
Where are we?
we finally have someone playing
Oh,
in this
here.
powerful position, catching the rotates.
Oh.
This spot is a really good place to catch people off guard if you hit your shots, unfortunately.
It's kind of cool.
Well, they were able to exit. They were able to jump out this time, so not falling into the abyss. But again, a spike plant. Curious to see how this goes, because I mean, last round of the half, they have to just try to play this out, but it's not looking good here for Team China. Like International going to be able to get themselves at 8-4.
Yeah, Omen is such a great agent to play on this map. He's got so much great opportunity.
Yeah, it seems like he is.
Rotate is crazy long.
Very
Yeah,
much
I mean,
like
it
very
is
much
just
staying. He
it is
not
crazy
going
long,
anywhere,
though.
it would seem. But I'm curious to see how it's going to combine in with other controllers, as you were talking about. Since you know Viper in the mix, do people want to play Astra Brimstone?
Yeah.
You said, one smoke that can't lock off an entry to the site, but 2 smokes can.
Yeah, and and we're just talking about the agents that are available now. Like one really exciting thing, like we talked about, like we're getting even more collaborative, like people across the team, agents teams, our skins team. When you think about like maps like this, like what are the opportunities for agents in the future? I'm actually really excited about what can happen, in future lineups.
My anticipation, personally, I'm seeing the Viper and then a dumb smoke potentially.
Astra?
Just because
Yeah, you'd imagine like an Astra suck here, as they're trying to make a jump, would wreck them.
Oh, no.
Oh boy.
He's gone down again.
We're forgetting to jump again.
Twice.
Again, high risk, high
High
reward.
risk, high reward. Or no reward.
I don't think there should have been that much risk in that one, to be honest.
That was by choice for sure. And like Al said, like we have all these ankle borders. Everything's intentional. We don't want this.
That was my neon rounds. Okay, thank you for that,
adding
Prius.
Extra dimension of gameplay because our players keep raising that bar.
Right. Yeah, I don't think that could be frustration at the map, just frustration at your not pressing the space bar. But
yeah, that's user error right there.
We're able to trade one back. Okay, we got him again.
Oh, I love the way that.
Bro,
Yeah,
that
so
jump in
using
low
it
levels
across
is going to be
there
crazy.
Really smart, because typically a defender will be holding you on that jump.
They're able to clear it out though. So
Oh
now
man,
this is
bro,
trying to get away
not
from
this, guys, not fine.
it's all on Mixwell.
Like-
Call it with you, Till. But yeah, I'm loving the approaches
matchup.
that we're seeing.
Like if you plant
it's
here,
so neat to see, because it's just
that's hard to
so
use, bro.
unlike anything that we've had in the game thus far. But like you said, it's still
Bossman's
feel
never
that
jumping.
different, but it is
Is it
so
because it
very
goes too
different.
fast now?
So the layout is very
He's going too
traditional. It
fast and he's
really
thinking
aligns
that
with
he
our
needs to
core
be
maps. It should be
jumping
very straightforward to learn.
later.
Very straightforward to play.
Topher Enjoy, thank you so much, bro. Appreciate the 4 months. Thank you,
And I was
thank
gonna
you.
say, too, like seeing the reaction of like our players. I saw some stuff in socials today. Luke's gonna be deceiving too. Like this beautiful map that's in this deep chasm. It kind of gives us this idea that it's a huge map. It is not overly big. Every new map takes time to learn, but we're really hoping that players will pick up the layout on this. And as you can see too, like action happens immediately. I mean, they're going past that barrier and executing on site, and we get straight to the action, which is intentional.
Now this is the eco round.
The
Team
orb
play
here.
I'm talking about.
An orb here.
Let's see if this works out for them.
curious if
Oh,
this
they-
does fall apart. Do they
The
just go to
crowd's
the side?
excited for this one.
But spotted. I mean, they're just gonna wide swing him, so he's got a back pedal. They haven't taken a sight yet.
The blind.
Wait, what? How did that shot hit?
They're holding it down. Mixwell not gonna be able to jump off the side.
Respectable attempt.
Darker side orbs?
Decent amount of
Looks like it.
damage
Gotta
Where's
be
the actual
careful on that
barriers?
rope in mid. A lot of times in our playtest, you can actually like hang on that rope, and if people aren't paying attention and clearing corners, you can catch them off guard.
Yeah, I had my manager do that to me. He sat on the rope in mid, like in a 1v1, and I just walk past him and he shoots me on the rope.
Yeah, heck yeah.
Couldn't
That's
even
my
be
worry
mad.
right
It
now
was
as
so
well.
Cool. And those are those clippable moments that we're talking about, you know?
When is Abyss in game? 2
I have a
days, bro.
question,
Tuesday.
Hopefully you can answer it for me. But
Can you use
talk about
chamber
the,
TP if you're falling off? You can't
collaboration that
TP if
have
you're in
between
midair with
teams.
chamber.
Do you ever have somebody on the like the agent side come to you guys?
You see the
and be
barrier
like,
is pretty
"Hey,
close,
can you
like
put
here,
something
here.
like this into a map
But it's
because we
pretty
have
much
an
in the
idea
open.
for an
I
agent
don't know where
on
the
this
barriers are
end,
over B
or
yet. I haven't
is that
looked.
fairly separated?
I will say opportunities to do that are growing. I mean, like we're always really careful, really intentional on like how we introduce like gameplay mechanics in maps. Agents team does the same thing, but I think it's going to grow more in the future as we do more things. I mean, we've had some real exciting agents come out with like kind of new outdoor abilities, and kind of like again talking about like we've had 3 what we call core maps, which were really straightforward. The hooks weren't really heavy. This is kind of back to that experimentation of seeing if we can add that layer to really excite players. But yeah,
That box.
And
see the future.
we're trying to collaborate more, so we have a lot of Easter eggs on the maps of current stuff and future stuff. So keep your eyes peeled. I don't want to say any more than that.
Yeah, I was
but-
gonna say we won't press you to point out anything here. I'm sure that people, as soon as they get their hands on this, are gonna be scouring
it'll be quick.
every nook and cranny.
Yeah, wink, wink. Like they showed it in the cinematic, but like we see a lot of shots of like defenders holding the top of mid. We actually have like for the first time like a lot of our
Bro, this side looks
weapon
mental.
skins like in the map showcase. Part of that lore, part of that story. That is probably some of the funnest stuff that we got to collaborate on because it adds so much and kind of unifies like that Valorant universe.
Yeah,
Did
so
you make a
maybe
video
it's
about the
like
agent
Scions of
changes? No, but we get to
Hourglass.
play the game
These
today and it
are
has the
artifacts
agent
away
changes
from
in.
the
So I'll do like a
world.
segment where I
And
talk
then our
about it and
agents,
I'll
they
put it on
broke
YouTube
in,
or something.
So it's not a secret anymore.
Yeah, so it is kind of like a secret underground base, or
Yeah,
like a
it's like
a
a-
Bond villain or something.
Yeah,
you know
so
what I
mid
mean?
is like a library. It's like where they keep all of those secrets, and then B is more of this like botanical radionite research facility. They're like seeing the effects of radionite on different organic elements, and then A site is how would you phrase it?
A side is what we call radionite lockup,
Yeah.
where particular things are kept there and hidden.
Oh, that sounded ominous.
It is.
Yes,
It is
very ominous.
I wonder if we'll
Okay,
find
so-
out more about that in a
Yeah.
future
Barrier here and
event
here.
or something.
But
I
again,
played
like,
the 5th.
yeah, and like again, this is a really lore-heavy map. This was actually really fun, like.
This is so much. That's so funny. How's your life, bro?
Influenced by like Los Angeles.
Wow.
This one, we got to do a lot of stuff on our own.
I don't think I've ever seen aggression like this into B main.
I mean, you mentioned, talking about Sunset, yeah, that influence is there. I'm curious about the influence for this map. Was there anywhere regionally that came to mind when you were designing this?
Yeah, actually, this was like a really big challenge, right? Like, we had to intentionally make a map that it was very clear, like, what is the gameplay and, like, where are the areas that you can't get to. And a lot of, like, the geographical sort of inspiration we got was from, like, a really remote island just north of Iceland. And it had a lot of the geographical features that we wanted to showcase in the map. And it also matches up with the lore. Like, this is supposed to be a secret base for this secret faction of the Sign of Hourglass.
Right.
So it is in a really remote location. But again, what was really excited is that this whole base, the
My home
architecture
map,
is
bro.
new
Yeah, what the
stuff,
hell?
It is new lore. It is very...
Now you can blame Iceland, that's true.
I'm actually kind of want to go on a different path a little bit here. Al, this is a kind of question for you. I'm super curious about, like, how do you guys think about the layout
Here it
of the
is, here it
map?
is.
Oh, are we going to... Oh, they're hiding, they're
okay.
hiding. Okay, hold on.
He's rope lurking with a Bucky.
The
He's-
reverse is
Oh,
with a Bucky is an
Gans.
interesting
Oh,
thing.
God.
Seriously, just laughing.
This with
They're
an Odin.
miles away.
Oh, they're just like walking into B side.
He's going to have to just try to
I
retake
respect the
with it.
gamble. I respect the gamble.
Gotta try.
Like you said, risk and reward,
He's
but
sitting there.
not being rewarded for it. Good shut down on the ult.
Man. But okay, so when you think about you gotta build a new map. How do you start with like the layout? How do you think about like some of the things you're looking to put into the map in terms of like in this case we have like a really long mid, some of the vent, those kind of things. Like how
Bro,
do
there's
those
so much
form in your head
verticality.
and how do they
Fun.
come to fruition?
Yeah, I mean, that's a really
Dude,
good
this
question.
B-side does not look
Actually, a lot
like
of
a
times folks
time,
will
man.
ask us, like, does like the narrative, the
Like,
story
if
of
I
the
s-
episode,
chat, if I
or,
smoke-
like, things we want to do in the
If I
Valorant
smoke
universe really
here,
affect,
and I
like,
smoke
the layout of the map, and actually, I'll be
here,
honest, the
where are you
answer
meant
is
to
no.
stand?
It
Honestly, I
really
need to see this
starts
box.
with the gameplay, right? Like, it has to feel really good in that prototype phase where it's just gray blocks, right? We call it gray box.
B-side
And,
really
like,
worries
when
me
we
on
talk about
defense at the
opportunities,
moment.
things we're deciding, honestly, it is just the evolution of like what our players are doing in the game today. What are opportunities? What's feedback we're getting from players, and also just like what are just fresh new ideas that like our design team team, you know, and the team, the broader team as a whole want to do, and then we just try to find the right combination of that. And again, test very heavily.
Sure.
I will share with this map. I mean, this map at one
Dude,
point
Neon's
had,
sending it.
like even more extreme verticality. It had things like jump pads and crash pads.
I got
You
mixed
go,
with
like,
Ashley
3-1
gonna kill everyone.
and we even had like harder trick jumps. We had platforms that were like half a meter, very tiny. But again, lots of playtesting, lots of making sure that it still hits those key beats for like the design principles.
Cypher gonna be good, dude. Cypher's good in every map.
Again, super excited to see how players react.
And to clarify, the crash pads would actually help you not take any fall damage. So we had like these jump pads, you could go super, super high, then if you fell down, you'd take.
How would it
damage
work
at
if
all,
you
but
put like,
yeah,
if you had like a
wanted
trip
this
that was
to
over the top
align a bit
and
more
they
with our
jumped
core
into
maps
it?
instead, and
Would they then fall
Oh,
down?
no.
Bro, got 4th
And
one.
then hopefully not be too punishing, yes.
One of the things
Wow,
that I
Valorant
like that
actually
we
got
have
its vertigo,
seen
that's
more times than
crazy.
I expected.
Yes, way more.
Is kind of just like, you know, where you hit the where you actually hit the depth when you're falling off the side of the map, what that limit is. So it seems like you have a decent amount of time to try to react. Like if you're playing Jet, something like that, you actually slip off the side of the map to be able to get that updraft off. It's not like you just are instantly dead.
It's about 3 to 4 seconds, right? We don't want to make it. We don't want to belabor the point. Like once you fall off, if you don't have any movement utility, you'll die within 3 to 4 seconds.
Right.
Dude, A looks nice, man. A as a site looks pretty nice.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh, he
They didn't take damage from their own
Like
shot
this
dart
bridge
at
worries
least,
me, but I think it's still fine to defend. Probably you're never gonna really be able to
Two
bomb there.
rounds away here for Team International.
This went by pretty quickly.
It's been, yeah, fairly back and forth, but it feels like this defender side, they're finding their groove a little bit more, but this
It's
nice
those early
wraparound.
fights, that early aggression, the risks that they're taking makes for a very.
To be fair, the
rewarding
judge
match.
plays on this.
And
Showing
disaster. Yeah, I can't wait to see that, you know, the first week or the first couple
Mood
days,
underscore
especially with this
FM,
map
thank you
coming
so
out,
much
all
for the
clips
Prime,
that
bro.
are gonna be
Thank you.
compiled and posted online.
Oh,
Just
yeah.
streamers losing their minds.
And if people are wondering if you can plan on the edge of B side and you've got a breach on the post plan, you can totally have multiple agents go off the edge.
Everyone off the map.
Seems like maybe everyone will just firm handshakes and agree not to play breach on this.
Bro, how are you meant to defend
You know,
B?
Rolling Thunder's online, don't go to B. Maybe makes them a little bit more readable, but good fight back.
Here we go. Let's go.
Yeah, well, you can see how, that round really shows how important that mid control is, right?
It
That
is.
Neon gets so far up there.
Looks like this is being watched for, though. Oop. Updraft peak.
Info.
Oh. Almost finding it.
Man.
Really solid. I'm curious, for Sabrina, what is the process like for you when they kind of give you
Breach.
like,
Yeah, there's a
breach
lot
options
of
and they say,
tight
"This is the map
choke
we
points
have."
as well.
What is like the first couple steps of figuring out like how what the look of this map is going to be?
Yeah, I mean, as a 3D artist, I come in a little bit later, but we do have fantastic concept artists. We started out super early during a blue
I mean, we'll
sky
find out.
phase,
We'll
which
go on
means,
that.
the
on
sky's
a
the limit. They could do
server
whatever
later.
they
We'll check it
want,
out.
Try the most insane, crazy things.
We'll try some random
and
stuff.
we do not want to limit them on their creativity. Then we hone it in a little bit, try to figure out, okay, what does this look like? They actually take the map into consideration. try
the
to
bucket
fit
play's
all
actually
their-
gonna work.
All their ideas into there.
Oh god, he's actually
and
gonna get
then
one.
The rope
We
lurk.
come in. Yep.
Oh, this guy's gonna ruin it.
Oh, there's out, but there's but now he's got to get out. Might need some assistance to get out of this position.
He's got the teammate holding him there. I can see the panic in the movement.
This is incredible.
I mean, this is exactly what we wanted to see out of this show match.
Right. It could maybe just, you know, blast pack, jump off
He's got his
backwards,
ult as well.
get out of it a couple
He was
different
gifted a
ways.
smoke here by Mixwell.
Again, it's really hard to sneak by in mid. You've got to commit.
And that smoke covers all the way into the vent, too, so that's really nice to bail your team out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mentioned that like dome smoke is not too strong on B side, but mid gives you incredible power. Limiting that information, getting the early info on mid is so important. So sending that dart into back of mid or a fade eye can make all the difference for your team.
Have there been any harbor enjoyers, like trying out some things with like the high tide and stuff like that on this map?
That's a strong pause.
Actually, our game analysis team enjoyed
That's a
using harbor
pause
a
as
lot
well,
because
honestly.
his wave
Dude,
actually
B side
covers
is a
everything
nightmare.
with choke,
Okay,
which
yeah.
the smoke does not cover.
Shut down. China trying to fight this one back.
And fun fact, that bridge right there is pennable, so
Okay.
you're able to shoot right into heaven.
Okay, yeah, here's a big question that I have a concern about.
All right.
Here we go.
Not really, but
I know where this is going.
how valuable do you think the Odin's going to be on this map compared to something like
Please tell us it's
Lotus,
getting nerfed.
You know,
Hopefully it's nothing like Lotus, only because I feel like Lotus has a lot of those close quarters fights, like people are right behind that wall that you're spamming. Here we're getting those really long range fights, so we're anticipating more Operator, maybe the Guardian even. Yeah.
building up in popularity. Okay, that's curious.
But can't say for sure until the players get their hands on it.
Again, we keep saying, like,
surprise us.
I cannot wait for players to get the map and see how they surprise us. I was here 2 days ago, and yeah, Lotus plus Odin, that was pretty serious.
That was rough to watch for sure.
Well, long range meta, I quite like that. So.
I'm a big fan,
Oh,
personally.
bro, when it moves
my
left and
favorite
right like
map.
this with
I was
the
like, Arena
speed.
main. So it's all about those aim duels, so mid is a haven for me.
You told me you were a Chamber main. Was
I'm
Reina
allowed
the
to
first love, and then
rotate.
Chamber was the other one?
As they nerf my agents, I
Yeah.
move on. You know what I mean? Then I became an Astra main, and then they took my star away.
Overcooked? Yeah, they overcooked.
Neon main, so I love the Neon action on the ShowMatch.
Well, speaking of the Neon, it's like China, they're going to bring this back, just maybe one round
This off
separating.
angle is so powerful.
It's not quite connecting the spray. Vandal moment.
That's true. Maybe this angle is
Most
strong.
of the boxes on both bomb sites are pennable. So that should bring some interesting gameplay.
Then you just have a
Are there
trip
any
to
other
just make sure that people
walls to
can't
look
do the
out, maybe
jump,
around
and they can only
mid or
find it if
anything
they
like
commit.
That might be pennable that players should consider.
Not that we know of.
Not that you know of.
Usually our players discover those ones.
Yeah.
I will
We
say,
try our best.
yeah, if Jack, there's time after the match, I would love to show you some really cool one-ways that our lead designer,
Yes,
Joey
please.
Seamer, showed us.
Yes. I'd love that.
Oh, let's go.
Yeah, if you want a little pro tip, that jump up that you do, if you actually smoke that off, that really affects the attackers.
Seeing
like,
trip mid jumps, they
jumping
fall off. I mean,
across
if the
without seeing
trip's
where you're
able to
going,
do it, then yeah.
absolutely terrifying. So smoking that for post plan is a really good way to counter that like uncomfortable situation.
Yeah, that seems like something, especially like really early on, or just very much like in ranked.
A sound
to take
sensor.
advantage of
They
early
actually
days.
made a deadlock map.
We expect like the pros are going to be able to get down this like.
Yeah, you actually have to make a
methodical
sound
rhythm,
when
knowing
landing. That's
Where
true.
you're going, you know.
Generic
Some players
Joe.
probably
Thanks so much
navigate
for
a
the
map
prime.
blindfolded because they've just played it so
Right.
many times. But in
Map
ranked,
is so
very
big.
different
Yeah, it
stories.
looks
That's
like a
really
giant
good tip, I think.
rotate.
What
Like
about,
I wonder how long it takes to do this.
They go
But
off
the problem with
map.
doing this as well is you're
Still
exposed to
use-
middles, so this isn't even a safe rotate.
You can use a smoke.
That's a
but
long
the
rotate.
ult does not work.
No,
correct?
not deal.
I
Not
was gonna
safe
say, that would-
rotate, you gotta do
that would be-
this.
This map would just be a major nerf to them
That's
if
long.
that were the case.
Yeah, and same thing for Sage too. Like you can res a body that's out of the gameplay space.
Right.
Right.
Dude, A side looks cool, man.
Oh, I think we just saw
A
Dizzy
side
fall
looks
down
sick.
into the
This
pit.
is a really good little camp corner. Rarely cleared. The box is actually, that box as well is pennable, so you
Okay.
could clear that by penning through it as you're executing, which I highly recommend.
Well, they don't get overly punished by it. This is looking like this is going to be going to the distance here.
Yeah, against the eco.
11-11.
It's hard.
Satchel out.
A wide angle.
Oh boy. Yeah, the jiggle peeking here on the corner is not,
People have been
not working out super
bumping
great.
the outlaw on this map as well.
Yeah, I mean, seems like a. I mean, you're
How
talking about long range,
chat, how
so
can
I
all
mean,
the
I-
show matches are
if you can
close?
really get that snowball
How
and
can
force
all
your
the
opponents
show
on
matches are
on the
close?
ecos
What
on the
is
half
this?
armors, it feels like the outlaw very much could thrive.
At
But
one point,
one
these
of the
show
other
matches
things
need
that
to
I'm
not
curious
be
to see is gonna
close.
be, you know, how quickly
Scripted?
can you
That's
get
what
on
I'm
top of
saying,
the
man.
outlaw to try to punish it, 'cause
Get me
there's
on
just
there.
that
Get me on against
two-shot
Plat Chat or
weapon,
something.
and if
I'll
they're gonna be
13
posted
nil
up in
them.
mid, there's a lot of routing options.
That's the show
And
match that people want to
honestly,
see.
with, the long range areas that you do typically fight with those weapons are easily dome smoked.
Just like a
So,
full stomp.
It's not going to be like the
Like it's
the bomb is
demoralizing. Like no one
overpowered
wants
or
to
anything
watch
like
after the
that.
first half.
There is a good counter.
That's what I want to see.
Double stack. They're taking their time, but spotted.
Can you die in pre-round? Maybe
The boxes
like
we're
this.
talking about is- oh, noted, but now way is cleared. Another run it back to try to open up the site even more. It's flashed up. This is looking like this is going to end up going Team China's way. 5 players alive.
They trade so well.
The comms, home team advantage.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. Fair point. See if they can do anything to try to run this back. But money-wise, not looking great here for International. And so often we see the lurkers in those positions, you know, get anticipated and not be able to hold their ground, but King able to
You have to get out of your room to play a show match. That's really true. I take it all back.
Any other new little unique features here in this potentially last round?
Yeah, even though you're able to lurk a little bit on this map, like you distract.
Do you get all orbs of falling off the map?
Defenders still have
You shouldn't.
positions like this where they can hold you and kind of be prepared for that.
Otherwise, that is the eco strat.
Since we don't have any of these agents in here, are like the traditional.
Definitely not.
Like
Yes.
Cypher,
Yeah.
like Killjoy.
I would imagine
How
not.
have they played on this map? How have people found them?
So far, I think there's been a bit of a bias towards Cypher, only because, like, you know, you have global utility. Placing those trips helps you really keep track of those lurkers.
Yeah, I mean, Cypher's just
which can
unreal
be
on every
incredibly
map.
punishing. Killjoy is pretty fun as well. But from what I've heard, Deadlock is incredibly strong on this one, actually.
Really?
Oh.
Yes,
Yeah,
that
super
wall
strong.
can hold down a lot of space.
But yeah, +1 to Cypher though too, especially if you're worried about Neon on the other team.
Deadlock?
Like, having those trips in
Nah, I'm
more
not
key
buying it, bro.
locations can, no pun
I'm not
intended,
buying it.
trip her up.
Oh yeah, of course. If it's near a jump and you're trying to get over there, yeah.
And like I mentioned, getting that early information in mid, we've actually been seeing a lot of people dropping that Cypher cam to try and see what's going on in there.
Makes sense.
Are there
Getting
Cypher
real close here.
off to acid another time, but Team China in front of the home crowd able to pick up the victory here over Team International.
All right. Honestly, not too bad. We'll get to play it a little bit later. We'll see how it looks.
A decent little bit of some of these things that you